I gave you guys a word yesterday. It wasn't really like a word. I did give you a part of a word that I received, but I talked about like something that I was going through. And the part of the word that I mentioned was something that God said to me, prior, right? You still have a little bit of fight left in you, right? No, you still have a lot of fight left in you, right? But there was something else that I mentioned, and no, it wasn't in yesterday's video. I'm so sorry. It was in the video before that, the video the day before that. And the video that I mentioned, even though you're denied, you're undeniable. And it's the truth. Like, even though you're denied by people, you're undeniable. And I want to talk about just how unforgettable children of God are. And the reason I want to talk about this is because early this morning, the Holy Spirit whispered to me, they miss you so bad. They miss you so bad. Like, he whispered that, and I chuckled I remember hearing myself chuckle in my sleep, and I got up and I wrote it down. And I'm like, okay, let me write this down. So I just want to say that what really made me realize what the word was everything that I wrote down, not yesterday, but the day prior, relating to even though they may deny you, you're undeniable. And what I wrote down was basically how unforgettable children of God are. And I just want to say, whoever you are, you have left an imprint on someone's life. It may be multiple people, right? And this is not just a word for one person, because this is something that God was showing me 2 days ago relating to you being undeniable, and this morning confirming it to me with they miss you so bad. And this is how people, realize your worth, okay? And sometimes it takes for people to lose you, for them to understand just truly how important you were in their life. People are very prideful. Not a lot of people, but humanity is very prideful. A lot of the times people don't like to admit when they're wrong about something or when they've messed up, right? But one thing for certain is when you leave, a good imprint on someone, as in like when you leave, like, when you're a good person, you have a good heart, and this person, the experience they had being around you or associating with you was nothing but just purity. It was nothing but honesty, authenticity. They will never forget you. They will never forget you. Doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter how they treated you. It doesn't matter, like, how you guys separated or stopped talking to each other. If you know deep down that you have been a good person to them, if you know deep down that you've been loyal, if you know deep down that, you have not done any ounce of evil towards this person or to these people, they will never forget you. And this is why, even though people may reject you and deny you, this is why you're unforgettable. This is why you're unforgettable. There's no way you're going to meet a child of God who has a Holy Spirit, who has the fruits of the Spirit, and you're going to forget about them. You will always leave, something behind in that person's heart or mind. Even haters. The reason why haters, if you guys are experiencing this is why they stalk you, because you're unforgettable. You're undeniable. This is why most of the times those who hate your guts, they'll still monitor you and stalk you. And this is why they obsess over you, because you're unforgettable. You live in their head rent-free, right? And it's not anything that you did wrong. It's like when you're just a good person and you are someone that people may look up to. You set good examples for people. Despite who they are, you set good examples. No matter how much they deny you, no matter how much they deny what you think, what you say, how you look, whatever reason they deny you, they won't forget about you. They will not forget about you. They're always going to think back to a time when, oh, I remember when I was around this person. I remember when I hung out with this person. They're always going to think back to a time when they were associating with you, or they're always going to think back to a time where you said something that really affected them in a positive way, and they can't forget about it. You see what I'm saying? Even haters, like when haters, always keep an eye on you, and then they start mimicking things that you do, they start being inspired by you. They're not going to forget you, because whatever you're inspiring them with, whatever they're mimicking off of you, every time they do it, you're going to come to mind, because you are who they got it from. You get it? You are who they got it from, right? So they'll never forget about you. And sometimes that will make people hate you, like even more. That will make even people that attack you want to attack you even more, because when they are secretly inspired by you and they watch your every move and they try to mimic everything, every time they do it, you're going to come to mind. You're going to come to mind, and that may just make them more frustrated with you. But the fact of the matter is, this particular case, they miss you really bad. So you left your imprint on someone. Like, you set an example. You set an example. Like, oh my goodness, you set the record high. You set the record high. If this is a relationship, this person probably can't find anybody like you. If this is a friendship, same thing. If this is like a partnership at work, same thing. I just know that you left your imprint on someone's life or people's lives, and they can't forget about you. And God said they miss you so bad. So these are people, or this is a person that is missing you. And again, the word may not be for everybody. You see what I'm saying? But how you'll always know if a word is for you is like God told you something similar. Something so similar, or maybe even the exact same words, right? And it's one of those things where you may have even felt it, or you can feel it. Being someone who is sensitive in the spirit, sometimes you can feel when someone is like missing you and someone is crying over you. Like, sometimes you can feel it. Sometimes when people cry over you, God will let us hear. I know I've heard people crying in the past, and I can hear them crying. And sometimes it's not even relating to me. Sometimes it's a word for y'all, and I can hear someone crying. God is saying this person's crying over someone. And then I'll put out the word for you guys, right? But the fact that someone's missing you, like, you may even feel like that yearning. Like, you feel like someone's yearning, or you keep thinking about the person. Like, they're always on your mind. Because when people, like, when you're very sensitive in the spirit, you just know when people talk about you. You know when someone's thinking about you. You know when someone has your name in their mouth. You just know. Because it's like, you'll start seeing a person's face in a vision, or the person will just keep popping up in your dreams. You know what I mean? You are missed. Best believe you are missed. I don't care how many people, ignore you and don't talk to you. Let me tell you something. Not everybody's going to go and tell a person who they did wrong, hey, I miss you. I was wrong about what I did. We live in a prideful world. Again, not everyone's going to admit that. Best believe if you are a good person, there's people that miss you. There's people that miss you. Why do you think many of you guys, you'll get that text message from someone you have not seen in a very long time, like, hey, how you been? Do you remember me? What's up? Why do you think that always happens? Because you're on their mind. Because they're thinking about you. You notice how you'll start seeing people in a dream, coming up, and you're like, why am I seeing this person in the dream? I haven't seen them in so long. Why are they always in my dream? For the last week they've been in my dreams. And then boom, all of a sudden you get an email from them or a text message, because they miss you. You see what I'm saying? Like, listen, this is why God always says, like, set an example. This is why God always says, lead with the fruits of the spirit. This is why God always says, if your enemy hits you, turn the other cheek. Or if your enemy does you wrong, turn the other cheek. This is why God always says, forgive your enemies, love those who persecute you, etc., etc. Why is that? Because you have to remember something. People will never forget how you treat them. They will never forget how you treat them. They won't. Even if they did you wrong, they won't forget how you responded to their treatment. They'll never forget how you respond to their treatment. I guarantee you right now, do you know how many people are thinking back to what they did to you and how they treated you? Do you know that? And when they think back to what they did to you and how they treated you, a lot of them are going to think back to your response of the situation. And if you responded gracefully, if you responded humbly, trust me, that's going to make them miss you more. That's going to show them just like how good of a person you are. You literally set an example. You set an example for people. You are a leader, not a follower. You set an example. And they miss you bad. So I'm going to give you the word. I'll see you guys later for the other words. Bye.